The Reggio Emilia curriculum presented by Catherine Jolcher. The curriculum was developed in the Italian town of Reggio Emilia. The psychologist working with the town to develop the curriculum was Loris Malaguzzi. This was primarily post-World War II, if I remember correctly. It is based in constructivist theory, so the idea is that children build their knowledge upon their prior knowledge. Additionally, the curriculum holds the belief that social influences are important and impact education. The Reggio Emilia curriculum is a child-centered curriculum, and in Reggio Emilia thought, they consider the child to be an active participant in their education rather than a passive one. Furthermore, the environment is a significant part of Reggio Emilia. It is considered the third teacher and thought is put into having space in the classroom for children to work in large groups, small groups, and to be individual when they need to be. The materials that are in the environment are relevant to learning and especially to the specific topics children are researching for their projects. In Reggio Emilia, classrooms and schools have designated art areas where children have access to a variety of materials and also a record of old projects students have completed. In addition, schools really value parent participation, and events are hosted throughout the school year for parents to attend. Parents also volunteer in the school and the classroom and work with students on their projects at home when applicable. A goal of Reggio Emilia is to make student learning visible. So, teachers document student work throughout projects, including taking notes, such as anecdotal notes, making recordings and video recordings, and draft sketches, rehearsals, or prototypes are all documented as well. Then, all of this documentation, along with any process work that students have on record, including mind maps that were made at the beginning of the project and notes that have been taken throughout the project, are all compiled into a portfolio to show how work progressed from a mind map to a finished project. The Reggio Emilia curriculum has a variety of unique characteristics. First, teachers are considered to be learners alongside students. Teachers are not expected to know everything or have an answer for any question. They partner with students to investigate topics and questions that children are interested in, and they can say, "I don't know, let's find out together." Another extremely unique aspect of Reggio Emilia thinking is the idea of the 100 languages. This is the belief that children can express themselves using a plethora of means, including music, pottery, photography, sketching, painting, drawing, drama, text, machines, etc. So the languages are all of these artistic languages. The idea, again, is that children can learn through many, many things and can show that learning through just as many outlets. It does not limit students to writing papers and making presentations to show their learning. Additionally, the Reggio Emilia curriculum is primarily project-based. The projects are all student inquiry-based and tend to be long-term, though they can vary in length. Finally, as I discussed before, the learning process is documented through a portfolio that teachers and students create together. From what I read, the students really enjoy putting the portfolios together and take a lot of pride in them. So the role of teachers. Teachers are primarily considered learning partners with students, as I discussed. They respect the students and listen to their thoughts and reasoning, even when it's wrong. though in that case they would then try to do more research with students to correct the beliefs. Teachers are also a guide through the learning process for each project that students complete. They would guide the students through brainstorming using a mind map, though again not controlling where the mind map went, to planning for a project, executing that project, presenting the final project, and putting together the project portfolio. Teachers are also expected to give students space in the classroom to take control of their own learning and researching. Teachers should allow students to make messes and work together with their peers without adult inclusion when they're able to. Finally, the Reggio Emilia curriculum has an extra teacher known as an altellerista, who is a teacher trained in the visual arts to help students learn and express themselves. The role of students. So, Reggio Emilia curriculum has student-led learning, and the students decide what they're studying and to a point in what capacity they're studying it. The projects are based in their interests and their questions. In Reggio Emilia, it is important to note that children have rights, not just needs. They are listened to and appreciated in the classroom. Children are expected to construct their own knowledge through the projects, and they're expected to develop and explore solutions for their own questions. Additionally, children are considered to be researchers, especially when they're working on finding information for their projects. Finally, children are expected to work with one another to aid in each other's learning, academically and socially. They're taught and expected to debate with one another, hold intelligent conversations, and collaborate with one another in their learning. So, for my first activity, that would be seen in every Reggio Emilia classroom, is the making of a mind map. The teachers and students, or even students, would select a topic the students would like to explore further. This would really just be the starting point for the mind map. It doesn't always have to be the center point like we traditionally think of it. They then write the things students know about the topic, questions they have, and aspects the students would like to investigate, and they build further off of all of these things that can sometimes lead to other topics and brainstorms and centers to the map. Like I said, sometimes the main idea of a map is very different than what the starting point originally was, and that's okay. Maps may lead in new directions or stay on that topic that was intended to be the main idea. They're just a brainstorming technique that Reggio Emilia classrooms use to get ideas and questions flowing and to really start a project with a theme and a question to investigate. The second activity that I want to tell you about would be an exploration and observation center. This would be present in all Reggio Emilia classrooms, probably consistently throughout the entire school year, every day. It's really a space for exploration and observation. The space contains things based on the topic in question that one or more of the students are working on for their projects. Could be more specific, could be more general. It really is up to the discretion of the teacher and the students and kind of what they want to do with it. The space would really always include books, primarily nonfiction books, and then materials for the students to touch and explore using a light box or magnifying glass or other materials, so that they can seek answers to their questions. The picture here is leaves. So what are the veins of the leaf? What aspect makes up a leaf? The different parts of a leaf. What do the leaves do for a plant? Things like that. Maybe what students are exploring. So students, again, are using the materials and then also the reference work in conjunction with the materials to explore and record their exploration and findings. Students would likely use this activity to move towards an answer for a project they're working on, whether that's quite specifically or more generally working down to more specific. So how does this relate to my philosophy of education? This curriculum is really in line with a lot of my philosophy of education. The focus is on artistic expression and social interaction is very consistent with my personal philosophy of education. I believe in those things wholeheartedly, and I believe that there are important ways for students to learn. I agree with the student-centered, inquiry-based approach to learning that the Reggio curriculum follows, though I do believe Reggio may take it a little bit too far, and I definitely like the different subject matter that traditional schooling teaches and the variety that students get in traditional school. I completely agree that teachers should be learners alongside their students. Teachers should always be willing to look something up and learn and to say, I don't know, let's figure it out together. Teach students how to find those answers. Like I said, teachers should admit when they don't know the answer, and they should teach how to do that. Finally, I agree that students can express themselves and their learning in many different ways. We don't just need to take a test to show we know something or write a paper. There are tons of different ways, and different kids are going to want to show their different learning in different ways. So I think that's a really, really important aspect to the Reggio Emilia curriculum. Here are the resources I used. Thanks for listening.